Looks like we got a live mic, Billy.
Get your feedback problem fixed.
What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTubes? That's right. Me and Billy, how you doing?
Oh yeah, it's that time again.
Tell them where we're at, Billy.
All right, it's time to have some fun today, guys. You know, it's football time in Tennessee. You know, can't wait to see the spring game today and have some fun, man.
What are you looking for today? When you go down there, what do you have to see, Billy?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I mean, when you get there into the stadium as a player, man, you got to be ready to play ball, man. You can't come in and just put on a show. You got to be ready to play. Don't get injured and have fun at the same time. So I think today is going to be a special day for the kids, man, just getting back out there with football and having some fun.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Looks like we have
Matthew
a caller call
Sam.
in, but we...
Is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you finish.
Has anybody tested this? We're doing this new live.
To it loud. You need to kind of
Tilt.
like you kind of simmer down a little bit, tone down a little bit, and then we come up a little bit, volume-wise.
Okay.
I can hear you both.
Can hear you
You're
both.
a little bit louder.
Well, we got the Hound Dogs hotline open, 855-489-7623. We've seen a lot of people here today, Billy.
Well, it's been a lot, man. I didn't realize there was that many people in the store. And when I went in there to check it out when I went to the bathroom earlier, this place is packed, man. Everybody need to come out here and have a good time with us today.
So what did you do during the spring game? What was your day like when you woke up in the morning, brushed your teeth? What'd you do?
Well, I'll tell you, when I woke up, man, it was game time. You know, I was ready to play ball, and anytime you have a chance to go out there and hit opponents and have some fun, it was game time for me. I mean, it didn't matter who I was playing, man. It was just ready for me to play some good ball, man.
Is this like, how close is this to a real game? You know,
Well,
as far as physically.
Well, I mean, it's physically. I mean, it's real as it's going to be. I mean, you're hitting each other. I mean, I know it's your teammates, but you're still going out there trying to earn a position. So this is a interview to see who's going to be the starters next year. So it's going to be a nice game today.
Yeah. How much of the playbook are we going to see today?
Oh, man, it's going to be scripted. I mean, we'll probably see maybe 20% of the plays. I mean, we don't see anything that you're going to see next season. I think it's more of a showcase for the fans and get everybody to have a good time. And we still get to see a little introduction of the new coaches. You know, got T. Martin over there with the receivers. So I'm quite sure they're going to put on a little show with the passing game as well, and with the new offensive coordinator too. So, have
you gotten a chance to talk to T since he's been a coach?
I've seen T once, man. That was at a nightclub, and we didn't get a chance to like chat. But you know, I always try to let the coaches get in place before I go over there and worry them. So right now, I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but I'm ready to speak to him.
All right. Well, we got BVD here. I want BVD to come over here and talk to Billy. You want to come over and sit in my seat, Billy? I mean, BVD.
Sure.
BVD, my man. Come on in here, man.
Microphone's loud enough.
Anybody want to talk to Billy on live?
How's it going, my man?
It's going good, Billy. Great to meet you, man.
I know.
Finally.
You ready for some football?
Oh, you know me, man. You've been watching me anytime at all. You know I'm ready for some spring football.
Yeah, I know. It took forever. It seemed like basketball lasted all year long for some reason.
That's a good thing, though, right?
Oh, yeah. At least we had something to watch, man. I mean, I just miss football.
Tennessee athletics rolling right now.
Yes,
baseball team.
It is. And I say Coach Foreman has done a great job, you know, getting all these good coaches in here and putting on a great show. And I think we're going to have a good time this whole season with all of the sports.
Have you had a chance to talk to Coach Pruitt while you've been in this time, or at all even?
Well, I haven't had a chance to, like, sit down and talk with Coach Pruitt. I mean, I really haven't had a chance to really meet him personally like I would like to. But, you know, since I'm moving back to Knoxville, I'll get a chance to, like, talk to him a whole lot more now. So it's going to be fun this year.
No time like the present today, right?
Oh, man, this is a great day, man. We got a lot of guys coming back, too, that I hadn't seen in a long time. And, we should see a great turnout today with the fans too.
I hope so. I think this is the first time they've done it in the evening.
Yes.
And I know a lot of fans that I've talked to don't really like that, but I kind of like it. It gives.
Well, I do too, man. Give the fans a chance to come enjoy Knoxville a little bit too. You know, some of the traditions, you know, some of the new things that's down on campus now. You know, you got the strip down there where they changed so much stuff down there.
Oh, yeah.
Downtown is even a lot better than when it used to be. You know, it got a lot of scenery things, and for instance, like right now in Hound Dogs, this is something I've never seen it. I never knew it was like this. You know, I've always played and on the outside looking in, but I never ever had the chance to see this part of Tennessee.
Oh, Jesse's done a lot of improvements here. The store has grown, not just the customer base, but the actual floor plan. You know, it's double almost what it used to be when I started coming in here. They're not just
Shout that out.
They're not just saying it to plug Hound Dogs. This is the place to come in Knoxville. If they don't have it, it's either not been made yet or they just don't have it. It's for
I
real.
mean, I'll be surprised too, because I mean, Jesse, he's done a great job, man. You know, like for instance, the shirt that I'm wearing right now, I didn't think anything to fit me. When I got it, I was like, wow, they actually have stuff that fit me
They
in the
do.
store, and so
I joke all the time that they have, not for you, but for guys like me, they have fat boy size here. You know.
I don't see what the fat. I don't see nothing, man. You look good,
you know,
man.
You're a good liar, man. You're a good liar. I know these guys have probably got a million questions for you, so I won't. You know, I won't hit you with that.
I'm here, man. I'm ready to answer all the questions
Okay.
today.
This we got Clemson Carson, Aaron Ross, who is here, by the way.
There's a super chat.
Yep.
DeAndre.
Super chat from DeAndre Crawford, or is that? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
DeAndre, I think that's it. So I know Catfish appreciates the super chats all the time. Who we got? Who else we got in here, Billy? Troy Nugent. Who's that guy? Volunteer Roadshow.
Hey, we
Got quite a few people checking you guys out this morning.
Clemson Carson. What's up, Clemson Carson? How you doing, man?
Michael?
Yeah, we got quite a few people that's already been by here to see us this morning. You know, weather's not great right now, but it's improving. And Billy's wearing shorts. Tough guy, you know. I didn't have the bravery to do that yet.
Oh, man.
You know, the older you get, Billy, the colder you get. So just remember that. You're still a young guy, you know.
Well, I was always told that same thing. You know. I always thought I would reverse that feature and try to turn it off, like on video games where you can turn the injuries off. Mm-hmm. Well, I thought I can do that when I played, but it didn't happen that way. So
No,
I stayed injured 4 to 5 years. I was at Tennessee, so I wasn't able to turn the injuries off on the game.
For some reason, you just put somebody, a former player, in my head that I want to ask you about, Inky. Mm-hmm. Do you get to talk to him very much?
Well, since I've been out of Knoxville, I haven't had a chance to even talk to Inky. I think now I talk to Inky through social media, like and hearing his inspiration videos and things like that. And he's a great motivator, man. He's done something special, man. He's opened up a lot of people's eyes and realized, and he brought them into his world, and he's just a special guy, man. I mean, when ever since he got injured, I felt bad for Inky because Inky was a very good player. He was one of those kids that was going to be special, go off to the NFL and have a great time in the NFL. I mean, he reminded me of myself. He never quit. Even to this day, he still worked that arm out. Even though he know he's not going to get it back, he don't quit. And that's what I like about him. He's a very inspirational person.
He's a living testament to people out there that, you run into problems in your life. You don't let it bring you down. You find a way to overcome. And Inky has more than overcome. I had the privilege, it's been 3 or 4 years ago, of seeing one of his speeches. And man, I left there, it was like leaving a Rocky movie or something, I wanted to go out and conquer the world.
Yes.
So if you guys, you ever get a chance to hear Inky Johnson speak, live especially, take advantage of it.
That's good, man. Yes,
the injury situation, you actually kind of brought that up. Spring game, we know, like you said earlier, we're not going to see much of the playbook. Coach is not going to put these guys in too much of a situation where anybody's going to get injured.
And that's the one thing I would say. When it comes to spring ball, that's, you know, the coaches, they think about that too with injuries. You know, they know that they don't want to hurt the guys or whatever. There are going to be some small injuries. You know, hopefully we're going to get any big injuries. Of course, you know, we want to protect our quarterback, you know, because we don't have but one quarterback right now. We don't know who the backups yet. And our offensive line, you know, they've always been beat up. And hopefully, you know, I don't want them to play scared like that and thinking about injuries, because that's when you do get injured.
That's right.
When you don't play full speed, you're going to always have injuries. So hopefully the guys go out there and play the ball game like they used to, because I know they're going to be excited today. You know, this is a day that, you know, they've been waiting for. The spring practice, they get tired of it. Now they want to see the results from what we've done. You know, they've had a great off season so far with the weights and everything. So hopefully we get to see a good show today.
Yeah, it's their last chance to show what they can do for these coaches, the young guys. And you know, we don't have all the freshmen in here. We probably don't even have half of them, I don't guess, that will be here. But they've got, that gives them a good head start. And today be their last chance, you know, officially, you know, to show the coaches whether they can ball or whether they're going to be on the bench this year. And you know, we're young. We're going to need a lot of freshmen to help us out this year.
We're going to need a lot of guys to step up this year, man. I'm hoping that, you know, some of the incoming, we're expecting some of those guys to start right away. Of course, that's always tough with an incoming freshman. You know, it's typically, you know, you're going to have like the skill players that's going to start if they're going to be a freshman. Offensive linemen, it's hard unless they're coming from junior college or something like that. It's hard to find like a Trey Smith guy that gets come in and just be ready to play in the season like that. And you know, hopefully he's coming back, you know, because if he comes back, you know, we have a much better offensive line. We'll be stronger. Defensive line, we're still looking for some defensive linemen. We lost a lot last year. You may not think we did, but we lost a lot. You know, everybody didn't realize how much we lost Combo. We lost a lot when he got injured. You know, he made a big difference when we lost him with injury. So hopefully the D-line step up and see some new players, new faces, so we can find out who these guys really are, because we don't know anybody right now. You know, it's just we still know the quarterback, but we don't know anybody else. We need to find out who these guys are, man. That's why I hope they come out and showcase today.
That's what it's all about. Speaking of showcase, I appreciate Catfish letting me sit in here for me. I'll come back. You know, you guys, we're going to be here doing this for quite a few hours, but it's just, these guys are just getting started today. I don't want to hog Catfish's time, because I'm going to be with you guys all day. So I'm going to put Catfish back in the pilot's chair. I'll be around.
Yes, sir.
You ain't getting rid of me that easy.
Oh, man. So. Hey, I'm glad you came up, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Love meeting you.
Come on back in here, Catfish. You ain't out the water yet, man.
Go ahead and give a shout out to everybody you see in the chat.
Oh, man, I didn't even notice that was there, man.
Oh, sound okay?
Slim
Pigskin Pete. Aaron Ross is here. Some of you guys that are waiting, you can't see them, but we can see them over here. I'm going to let them come sit down next to you and talk to you on camera.
Come on in,
and anybody wants to come down, talk to Billy, come on out and talk to us. Now, if you mention, now listen to this now. Mention Volunteer Roadshow here at Hound Dogs, you get a 10% discount.
Hey, that's great, man.
Can't beat that with a wooden stick.
Oh, man. The stuff they got in there, man, they got a lot of good stuff in there, especially for the big
Tell
guys,
them what you saw in there that you got to get. Tell them.
Yes, I saw like these, little things that go on the tires. Yeah. They had the T on it, and I was like, man, I got to have those. They were in the back of the store. I was like, I have to tell Jesse, you need to bring those things out in front out here, man, because those things will sell. I need 2 sets myself for both of my cars.
You just got to jump in.
We got Troy Lee Nugent in here. DeAndre Crawford gave us a super chat. I don't remember what he said, but he said, what is good? MCD Sports is in here. Clemson, Carson. A lot of them saying, hey, Billy. Boilermakers forever. Everybody's here, but we got Michael Rector. Where are you from, Michael? He's from Greenville, from Green Vegas. He's going to come sit with you, Billy, and chat with you.
Come on in here, Mike.
You don't need the headsets.
How's you doing, man? You doing all right?
Pretty good.
Come on, sit down there with me, man.
I guess I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I guess the question I had for you is, is there anything in specific you're looking for with this team in the spring game to kind of look at?
Well, me personally, I'm just looking for some of the guys to step up, seeing some new faces. Offensive linemen, you know, we had a couple of guys out last year, like with Trey and stuff, and, you know, him with the injury, like the blood clots and everything. Hopefully we get some guys that can step up on the offensive line and the defensive line, because we're going to be missing that from last year. A lot of guys left that probably going to get drafted this year or whatever. If they don't, you know, they'll make some teams. We need some defensive linemen to step up. Skilled players, I mean, I know we got a lot of skilled players over there. You know, we got a good wide receiver coach over there now that's going to have those guys stretching the field a lot bit more. The offensive coordinator, you know, he's back. So hopefully we can see, you know, a exciting offense for a change. You know, something that's different. You know, because me personally, I'm tired of seeing the same thing. You know, they're telling us we got a spread option team and we're running quick slants and ISO. I don't want to see that. You know, I want to see something where if we are a spread option team, I want the quarterback to read and don't just hand it off every time he's going to beat it. Or if he's going to read it, let him keep the ball and run outside. You know, there's so many different things that I hope they do because, you know, with Chaney back, he did a lot of these things at Georgia. So hopefully he bring that same thing over here and work out for us too.
Now, do you feel like with Chaney as the offensive coordinator, we're going to have a good showing on, like, not the entire playbook, but some more plays that we'll be able to see?
I think we'll see a lot of smart things now. I mean, Chaney, I think this is his, in a sense, I'm going to call it a dream job for him because I think he has a lot more freedom now from when he was here before. You know, I don't think he's going to have the handcuffs like he had before because, I mean, if you remember when he was there, it was nothing like what we saw him at Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know, because a lot of people they forgot that he was our offensive coordinator. And I was like, no, this guy, he was a good coordinator. It's just I think he just had everything was filtered to me because if you see the way he coached when he was here based on what he was coaching at Georgia, two different things. I mean, everybody think it was the talent or whatever. No, it's X's and O's. It doesn't change. If the kids go out there and execute what he shows and tell them to do, it'll be the same results that Georgia got. But it's tough, man. So that's why I know that he had a big filter when he was here with the Vols.
Absolutely. And, you know, Pruitt was saying that he wants to see this stadium filled. How much would that help us in recruiting, seeing that stadium filled on a spring game?
I mean, I think it's going to help us out a lot. You know, I mean, with Pruitt giving him a little bit more freedom, I think things are going to gel a lot better than it was when he was Georgia because he got a lot of kids that are ready to step up now. You know, Georgia, they already have these guys that are already elite. You know, they already know they got an opportunity to go to the next level if they don't get hurt. Well, you got a bunch of kids over here that finally got a coach that really believes in them. And when I say when you have a coach like that, they'll do anything for you. And I mean, I was one of those guys myself. You know, if a coach say, go knock this wall down, I'm going to try to knock it down because I trust this coach is doing the right thing for me.
Absolutely. And, you know, the thing with the spring game is you get a good look at your team, you know, one final time before the summer break, and then you get into the fall practice.
Yeah. And that's what happens in spring ball. You know, it's a lot of micromanagement, too, because you want these kids to go out here and execute exactly the way you teach them. Because if they don't do what you tell them to do, things is not going to work. It's just like a clock. If the clock is broken anywhere, if one of those wheels is off track, it's not going to work. So in spring, that's what they do. They watch so many films of these kids, and they showing where their pad leverage is up, pad leverage is down. They're going to know these things, and that's what the spring is all about, is getting the little things corrected. You know, and that's hard sometimes when you got 18-year-old kids out there. They got a lot of things going to their mind, but I think Pruitt got these kids on the right track now.
I believe so, and, you know, especially in the past few years, I think that we're in a position now when we're able to build this team and build up what he can make it,
yes,
to make it exactly what he wants it.
Well, tell me this here. What are you expecting to see today in the game?
What I'm expecting to see out of the game, I would really like to see the O-line and the D-line step up, see how, you know, how they progress since last year, especially the O-line, and see how they can protect the quarterback. You know, Stroud, I'm really excited to see if he's going to be a good possible backup quarterback for us as well.
That's exactly what I thought, man. I mean, I say the same thing. I mean, if we can get on the same page on both sides of the ball, up front with the offensive line and defensive line, everything is so much easier on both sides. You know, when I played at the University of Tennessee, we had that on both sides of the ball. And I'm not saying just first team, second team, third team. We had 14 players that can come in and step up if we had that chance. You know, I was speaking to some of my teammates last night, and I told them, guys, did you know that Albert Hainsworth and John Henderson was fourth teamers? How does that happen?
That's a really good question.
You know, and it just shows how many guys we had that were special at that time. And I think that, you know, when Coach Foreman hired Pruitt, I think he had that same sense of urgency to get those same type of kids to come to the school and be that way, because once he found that foundation and he's building that family again, you know, I think that's when everything's going to come together. And for instance, I'll give you a quick example of what Rick Bonds, what he just did.
Yes.
You know, Rick came to a situation that was very tough. He didn't have the kids that he really needed to play in the offense and defense that he ran. But once those kids believed in what he was trying to do, that's when Tennessee became a great basketball team. And you saw it, you know. Barnes is a great coach, man. He don't have to have the 5 stars or all this here or whatever. If he have a kid that believes in the system, it's gonna work. You know, it's rare that you're gonna get a Zion that's gonna come here and just do what Duke did. And I'll tell you this here, I'll take our team over Duke team every day, because I know what type of kids that we had. You know, these kids wanted to win. They wanted to play. You know, they basically, no one believed in them. That's how they went at it. You know, they didn't think that we can win it. And of course, you know, we didn't win it, but hey, we had a special team, man. They're gonna go down in history, one of the best teams ever.
Absolutely. And with you being a former player, how significant was the spring game to you? You know, being able to run out for the first time and experience a crowd.
Well, I'll tell you, man. When I played spring ball, it was more of I'll say a interview process, because I wanted to show the coaches that I was ready to play. I was the best player out there to me. You know, I didn't have anything against my teammates or anything, but the way I went at it was I wanted to win. I hate losing. Losing was not something I love to do. I mean, even to this day, when I'm playing video games with my kids, I am not losing. And the spring game is huge, because there's so many things that you got to work on to get yourself better. And if you don't do it in the spring ball game, why would he trust you in the real ball game?
Absolutely.
So spring is huge right now.
And you know, like I said before, it also helps the coaches really understand what they have in a team, and you know what steps they need to prepare for the next upcoming season. Yes,
and that's what they do. They're preparing for the game, and today is going to be a game type situation. So hopefully the kids take advantage of that, because you don't get too many spring practicing anymore, because it's tough these days. You know, with all the rules changes, the amount of time they have with the kids, so you got to take advantage of spring ball, and that's what the coaches are doing now. Like I'm quite sure they're trying players at different positions and things like that. And you probably see that today. You'd be like, why is he playing this position or whatever? It's an interview process. You know, they may have a tight end that's trying to move him to a defensive end. For instance, with Jason Witten.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason Witten was a defensive end.
Yeah, he was a defensive end.
And ended up being a Hall of Fame tight end. It's just certain things that happen, and that's what they're doing. They're evaluating every player, you know. So you don't have a position in spring practice either. So they're basically working to find out their best players and see who's going to be the best to be able to contribute in the best way.
Absolutely. And I guess my final question is, which position would you say has the most pressure on them coming into this game?
Oh, man. I'm going to have to say the offensive line. I mean, the offensive line had to come back. I mean, have to do a great job, man, because that's the worst position I think we had last year. I mean, our quarterback, oh, man, I'm surprised he still have ribs. You know, this kid, you know, he got his tail kicked last year. I mean, and of course, I mean, a lot of people were saying, you know, he needs to learn how to protect the blind side. Well, you guys saw the movie Blind Side, right?
Yeah.
You saw what Michael Orr was. He was a left tackle.
Yeah.
He protect your blind side, and if your left tackle don't protect your blind side, that's
if you
what
don't have
happens.
anything protecting you, you can't be protected.
Exactly.
I mean,
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping the offensive line play has to get better. I mean, that's where it all starts on the offensive line. If you can't protect your quarterback, if you can't run the ball, you're in a tough situation, especially in the SEC.
And I feel like, once we get those pieces figured out, it's all going to fall into place, and we're going to have a very successful season if we can get that figured out.
Yes, man.
Thank you for letting me on.
Thanks for coming in and asking questions, man.
Absolutely.
You have a good time today, man.
You too.
Introduce Aaron Ross from Marable.
Aaron, hey, we got Aaron Ross coming in. Aaron, come on in here, man. Ask the questions, talk to me, see what you got, and hopefully you can hear me today, man.
How you doing, brother?
So what are you expecting for the game today, man? I mean, you gonna have a good time over there?
Yeah, for sure. I always love the spring game and go every year. One thing I'm hoping doesn't happen is injuries. I see it every year. Somebody gets hurt, and I just hope that we can get out of the game with nothing too bad happening. We don't want people getting hurt before the season even starts.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. I mean, I had my share of injuries at the University of Tennessee. 4 to 5 years I was there, I was injured. I only made it through one season healthy. It was the national championship year. And that year, I think they did a whole lot of protecting me for us, not letting me practice a lot of times, especially like the spring ball. They shortened a lot of things for us, like only did like individual drills, But the coaches, they understand injuries is part of the game, and they're going to do the best that they can to protect those kids. But also, you got to understand that these kids, they have to still play the game full speed, because if you go out there half telling, half running, slow, that's when injuries come about. That's even if you're watching games, sometimes most injuries happen when you're not really even doing anything. Tear ACL, just walking, just jogging back to the huddle instead of sprinting back, and you tear ACL. It's just so many different things you can do to get injured, and I think the coaches, they understand that. The training staff over there, they have a great training staff. I still know all the guys that's over there, and they watch that. These kids are trained well. They've been through a lot of strength and conditioning that's going to help them out a lot. We finally got a strength and conditioning coach that's staying there, that's still there. That's something that we haven't had in a long time, and I think that's going to help the University of Tennessee. It's huge when it comes to injuries. The guys got to work out and get healthy, and hopefully today we'll come out great.
Yeah. Well, another thing that I'm hoping for is, I know that with the quarterbacks it's all non-contact, but I'm hoping that they're able to at least show pressure to Garantano, because I would love to see if he has improved in how he reacts to pressure, because that was one of my complaints with him last year, is he wouldn't know how to react when getting rushed at, and he would always end up on his back. Now, he always got up, but he was sacked way too many times. So I'm hoping to see if our defensive line can add some pressure to him and at least see how he reacts to the pressure.
Well, I think he got it now.
Yeah.
Chaney came back, and of course you got T. Martin over there. He's coaching wide receivers, but I'm quite sure he's still giving them some tips and things.
Pointers.
And like I said, it still comes down to the offensive line play. I mean, if you don't have those guys blocking for you, I don't care if you're Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, or whatever. That offensive line, it's not going to work. And I think today we're going to see a nice showcase of our quarterback. I think Chaney's going to broadcast it, so because that's what everybody's worried about right now. Can he play the position like we think he can?
Yeah.
I think they're going to put him in great positions where he can do a great job this year. Also today, you'll see a lot of good things, man.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're going to see a great game today.
That's what I'm definitely hoping for.
So what else you doing, man? Are you going to go check any more of the festivities downtown or anything?
No, I checked out Rod Run and Pigeon Forge yesterday.
Okay.
It's pretty packed up there, but other than that, just going to the game today, trying to have a good time. Hopefully the rain won't come back. It looks like it's supposed to be clearing out of here, but
I hope the rain stay away, but I sure hope the sun don't come out, because I love to have it to stay about 67 all day today.
That's one thing I was happy about with it being a late start game, because most years, the game is either at noon or 1 or something, and I go out there and I'm sweating bullets because we're here in East Tennessee and it's hot in April.
I'll tell you, the players, they think the same way. They're enjoying the fact they got an evening game. Instead of having that getting up early and just go straight to the field, it's tough on the body, and that's another way where it's probably gonna help with injuries as well. Their bodies will be warmed up, ready to go, and of course now the kids they right now they're just chilling right now. They're sitting back, relaxing. They're not worried about sprint to the field right now.
Yeah.
And I know they're getting some opportunities to sign autographs for the fans and stuff over there, so it's not as early as it normally is. So it's going to be a special day, I think, for the kids.
I want to ask you a quick basketball question about Rick Barnes turning down the UCLA position. I haven't gotten to talk to you about that.
Well, I tell you this, man. I knew he was going to turn it down, because going to UCLA is a tough job too, man. It's almost like trying to fill Pat Summitt's shoes.
Right.
It's like right now going fill Nick Saban's shoes right now. It's a tough place to go. I mean, it'd be a great place for him to recruit, but you're talking about a guy who's in his retirement age time. He's got a great situation here in East Tennessee. The fans love him. This is where his family's from, his wife is from, and all of those things factored into that with me when I was I wasn't worried that he was leaving.
Right. Yeah.
I know a coach just by watching his demeanor, his movements, the way he's talking, and Rick didn't sound like a guy that was worried really about the money in a sense.
Yeah.
I think it was more of him being comfortable with his coaches, his assistants, and everything, make sure they're taken care of, because that's what he cares about is his family. If he don't have the family to back him up. And I didn't think he would have had that. I call it Hollywood and UCLA, because that's what it's all about out there. It's a pay raise out there to Rick Barnes was actually a pay cut going out there because it's so much more expensive out there.
Yeah.
Yes, they were going to give him $5 million. But still ended up being about $3 million here. So,
and he's actually going to be getting a pretty
that's why I didn't think he was going to leave. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad he stayed, and I think we're going to have a great year with the basketball team again because, the recruits who would come here just because of, we still have something to prove.
I agree. Well, I'll let somebody else hop in here, and it's been good talking to you.
Well, thanks for come on. I'm glad you came by, man.
Mm-hmm.
What Catfish at, man?
Matthew's coming in.
Oh, okay. Well, we got Matthew. Matthew, hey, come on in, Matthew. Hey, how you doing today?
Good.
Come on in. Talk to me. You doing all right today?
Yeah, just excited for this game. Biggest thing I was excited for is seeing these new people come in, like the five. I think we got two 5-star linemen that came in. Those freshmen, Morris and Wright.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see those. Excited to see the JUCO guys coming in. And I guess my question was, do you think those big guys will have a quick impact?
Mm-hmm.
You think they will?
Yes. Well, that's the one thing I said too. We got to find some identity on this team, besides the quarterback, we had Trey Young, all that, but we need to find who's our defensive guys, who's the cornerbacks and all those things. We don't know those guys, and that's why I say today is a great day for these guys to showcase themselves and find out who is going to step up, who we get to talk about. It's been a while since we had a defensive player that we can say, oh, man, that's Eric Berry, man. We don't have Al Wilson. We don't have those guys. And we got to find that special guy, that leadership, even on the offense. We still haven't found that leader yet. Everybody says the quarterback, but he still has yet to step up to be that guy that we say, hey, he's going to take us to the promised land. And as a fan myself now, it took me a long time to become a fan, and watching the teams over the past few years, it's been tough because we've been losing. But I think we're in the right direction right now to see a lot of new things. Like you said, with the incoming freshman that's coming in, we don't know who we have yet, but I think we got some special guys that's going to show up this season. And today is where it starts at, with the spring ball game. If you don't do it here in the spring, we don't know what you could do in the fall. So hopefully we, change to showcase some of the guys. Hopefully they let the quarterback throw the ball and not get blindsided and protect the guy. Because I know me as a fan now, as a former Vol, I don't like seeing my quarterback get hit like that. So, and I can imagine what the fans are thinking, because you seeing a quarterback on his back all the time, we say, what are you guys doing? So I understand where you're coming from. So.
Yeah, I'd like to see somebody getting there and protecting. Last year he was on his back. Seems like
he was tough situation for a quarterback, man. You wouldn't want to be on your back, man. That's one place that I remember Coach Cutcliffe used to always tell Peyton, we don't want to see you on your back, man. We're going to protect you. We protect you. I expect you to get the ball to the players. And that's what I'm hoping our offensive line do this year for JG, because we have a long way to go, but I think we're going to be okay.
Have you heard anything about Trey Smith? Is he healthy?
Well, I still don't think he's there just yet. You know, I mean, he has a serious situation. I mean, the condition when it comes to blood clots, I mean, that's a tough situation. I mean, you know, for so long you can have blood thinners and all these things to do all that stuff, but, you know, medication has got a lot of chemicals, so it's a tough situation for him. You know, I have prayed for him, and I'm hoping that he comes back and contribute this year, because he's one of the main guys. You know, that's the one that I would call he's our leader on the offensive line. You know, I think even if he don't play this year, I would love for him to be on the sideline, or as I call it, a leadership coach. You know, teach these guys what you understood, how to become that elite player that you became. You know, but I know he wants to play. You know, as a football player, as an athlete, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you broke your neck. You want to still get back on the field. And I know Trey wants to be on that field. So he's going to do everything it takes to try to get back on there. As far as knowing if he's fully healthy, I don't know yet. But I think he's going to be on the field eventually.
I hope so too. That's one position group I'm excited to see, that line.
Yes,
and
most definitely.
I think it will prove a lot with. I think Brandon Kennedy might be coming back to center.
Yes, that's just.
And those freshmen, and I don't know. I'm excited to see that position group.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. I mean, we just got to give them some time to continue and stay in the weight room and get stronger. As you can see, 2 years straight, we got a good strength conditioning coach, and they finally got a great off season, and hopefully they get stronger this summer. But hopefully this today was showcase what they've actually learned, and hopefully it's going to be a whole lot better than we saw last season. So
I guess my last question is coming off that was a 5-7 season we had last year.
Which one?
5-7, was that the record?
Yeah,
it was
5-7. Was it? Yeah, we had 5-7 now. I'm looking for at least 9 ball games this year, man. I mean, I think that's doable this year. 5-7 is just unacceptable. I mean, we struggled last year against some teams that we should have won. Vanderbilt was one of them. You know, I mean, I still don't think Vanderbilt was better than us. You know, I'm still the player that's in my heart that, Vanderbilt is not a football school. You know, we're talking about doctors and lawyers that's playing football. But coach, he's did a great job of getting those guys ready to play us, and hopefully this season 9 games is what I'm looking for. Anything less, I can't accept it.
One more thing with that record we had, was you surprised by the really good recruiting class they got brought in?
Yes, I mean, I think we're going to have a good job, man. I think they're going to do great this year with those kids, man. I mean, especially with some of the incoming kids that's coming. I think we're going to have a great situation this year. Okay. So hopefully it turns over to the field and start getting all the recruits that we wish we can get, start stealing some of these Georgia recruits, these Alabama recruits, because, some of these teams like Alabama, they're recruiting, it's flowing over because they don't have enough spots. So hopefully that waves over to us and we steal them. Because I know with the recruiters we got on that team now, we're getting ready to start taking some of these recruits back.
One of them was actually Recruiter of the Year, Brad Needham. I think I'm saying his last name right. Needham Meyer or something like that. He brought in a lot. So
yes, most definitely. So this I think we're gonna be special this year. I really do. I think it's gonna be a season changing for the fans. I know the players, they're ready to get on the field. So today is the day for them to showcase their talent.
Well, that's really all I got.
So you going to the game?
Yeah.
All right. Well, have fun, man. Thanks for coming, right?
Jermaine Kent, did you see what he said?
Hey, how you doing? So you have a question for me today?
Can you sign my autograph?
I most definitely can.
Short and simple.
Here we go.
Say thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead, Jesse.
How you doing today, Taylor?
Hey, what's going on, Jesse, man? As a matter of fact, I need to ask you something anyway, man.
All right.
When I went back there on the restroom break there, I saw these little things that go on the tire gauges back there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man, I've never seen these before. So I got to get me some of those before I leave, man.
Yeah.
Are they on the floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got them back there in the auto
these
section.
up front.
Yeah. You've seen it in there. We've got everything. So, what do you think? How do you think the season's gonna go?
Well,
your input a little
I
bit?
think this is going to be a tough season in a sense because, we got a lot of new coaches on this staff that, I'm expecting them to do a whole lot of good things, with T. Martin coming back home. I think we'll see a big change in the receiver play this year. Chaney coming back. Hopefully, like I was telling my friend earlier, hopefully he transitioned over here like he did at Georgia. He was here before, and I still say that, when he was here earlier, everything was filtered.
Yeah.
I don't think he was himself. I still think everything went through so many people before it went to the field. As you saw when he went to Georgia, you're like, okay, this is a totally different coach that was at Georgia that we had, but he wasn't. He was the same guy.
He just adapted.
He had a lot more freedom, and I know now that Coach Pruitt has him, he's ready to play. I think we're going to see a whole lot more in the passing game. The running game most definitely going to be better because he likes to run the ball too. As you saw out at Georgia, he kept running backs that was on downhill. So this year, I think we're going to do a whole lot better than we did last year. I know we're going to win more than 5 ball games.
Yeah.
Have 5 ball games, that's unacceptable here in Tennessee.
it is definitely.
So I'm expecting at least 9 ball games, man. I mean, like I told the guy earlier, 9 is enough for me. I'll be happy with 9 wins this season.
Have you had a chance to talk to T much since he's gotten back
Well,
in?
I haven't, man. I actually talked to him once since he's been here, and that was like we was out at a nightclub. He was on his way out, and I was on my way in, and we had a quick chat, and I told him, and once I get back to Knoxville, I think we'll speak a lot more. I mean, because me being in Chattanooga right now, it's hard to get over there and talk to these guys all the time. So I'm excited to get back in Knoxville anyway.
Yeah. Well, I ask a lot of the VFLs that come through this store. We get a lot of y'all that come through here. And I've been asking all of them, and I don't want to get you in trouble with Coach Fulmer or nothing.
You're fine.
But I've been asking them how they think this staff that we've got right now compares to some of the glory days with Phil.
Oh, man. I mean, I'm going to tell you this here. There's no staff that can compare to the staff I had, man. Because, if you think about it, you look at all my coaches that I had, they're either still coaching at some of the most elite programs or they finally retired. And I think the only one that's retired so far is Coach Brooks. Coach Brooks, he's in Gatlinburg. And, of course, Chavis, he's still coaching. Coach Caldwell, he's still coaching. Coach Ramsey, he's still coaching. All those guys, they're still out there. So it's hard to say, man, because we had so many special coaches that was elite, man. They did a whole lot for these kids. And I'm hoping that's what Coach Fulmer is putting back in place. You
think they're getting a real close second to some of that staff down there?
Most definitely, and I think they did a good job. I think they was picky in who they had come to the staff. I don't think they was just too quick to take anybody. Whereas when Kiffin left and we just got somebody, I don't think they took their time like they took their time to get Pruitt. I think Coach Fulmer did a great job with that hire. I know everybody didn't think that Pruitt would be who he is, because Pruitt is a football coach. He's not the one that's going to want to go sell this and do that. He wants to be a football coach.
Yeah.
And if you talk to him and you hear his presence, Now, if you go get T. Martin on there, he knows how to talk like that. He's one of those guys that wants to sell the program. He was one of the guys that loved the program, and that's why he is the way he is now.
Yeah.
So
I think Coach Fulmer's done an amazing job as AD. I think he definitely had to prove himself this last couple of weeks.
Man,
the basketball coaches put him in a little bit of a hustle there. But I tell you, I was at that basketball game when Fulmer got announced as AD, and then of course Pruitt was there too, and it was quite a thing to see the whole crowd, 21,000 people, give a standing ovation to an athletic director.
Yes.
I'd have to say that probably doesn't happen very often for athletic directors.
It doesn't. And
so
that's why I'm saying. I'm glad they picked Coach Foreman to be the athletic director. I wish they would have did it a lot sooner, but at that time, we had I had a good athletic director at the time, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody need to give Mike Hamilton credit. Man, he did a lot of good things as well.
Hey, he brought a lot of money to this university.
Exactly.
So,
you know, he was dealt a wrong hand at the time. So I think he had a bad deal with the situation. But Coach Foreman has came in, and I think he has set the ground perfect now. You know, he's got some good coaches to come back. I mean, he just got, hey, Kelly Jolly is back, man. I don't know why I can't say her whole name with the Harper. I mean, you said that on the thing too. Kelly Jolly is back. So, you know, I'm hoping she's going to bring that Pat Summit present back. And I know she's a hard nose because all those kids that she had at Missouri State, that's what they said. She's tough. So,
and when I first saw the announcement of Kelly Jolly, I was like, you know, I wasn't sold right away. And so I had to go back and do a little more research into her, and you know, because you know all the stigma that comes out is like, oh, well, she was fired from NC State, you know, this, that, you know, she's been to more NITs than she's been to NCAA tournaments, and so that's what you see first.
Yes.
And I did a little bit more digging and looked into her background a little more, you know, and she's, you know, she went to the Sweet 16 this last season, you know, and she's got that Pat mentality in her on the court, and she demands that respect, and that's what you need in women's basketball.
You do.
And she actually has taken, you know, and the program she's been at, I mean, you're talking Missouri State, like they don't have the facilities. You can't, how hard, it's got to be hard to recruit to Missouri State when you're going up against the Connecticut's and the Tennessees and all of them. And she's made a program like Missouri State relevant and put them in the tournaments and done well with them. And after I looked into that, I was like, you know what? I think this might be a really good hire. And I think if she can just keep doing what she's doing with what she's got to represent her here at the university, I think we're about to see some programs, baseball, softball, basketball, men's and women's, football, everything. I mean, just about to start climbing up, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
And when I saw that they hired Kelly, and I remember when I saw a picture on Facebook where she was in the plane with her family. And if you look at her, it just had that presence of just Pat Summit, though. I mean, you're just looking at them like, oh my gosh, it's almost like a spitting image of Pat just coming out. I was like, whoa.
Well, and how hard will it be to demand some respect out of players when they want to act up and not listen to her, and she'll be like, hey, do y'all have a trophy in that case back there? Oh, I've got 3 of them. You know, I mean, you can't argue with that.
That's hard to beat, man. That is hard to beat. You're right about that. So I can't wait, man. This is going to be a special year for all the program. You know, Tennessee's on the right track. You know, Coach Foreman, he's just done a great job, man. It's hard to say that he hasn't. You know, I mean, everybody was giving him a tough time. Even before Rick was even gone or doing anything, you know, they was thinking, you know, Coach Foreman, you know, get rid of Coach Foreman. Like, no, that's not how you do it. I mean, this is just a situation the guys are going through, you know. I mean, he has to at least listen to UCLA and see what they're doing. I mean, anybody would do that, you know. I mean, they'd be crazy not to listen to it.
And it wasn't even about him looking for more money. He wanted to get his staff taken care of, and you've got to respect that. You know, I mean, it's already showed these self-reported. He was paying his staff out of his own pocket. You know, somebody that wants to take care of their staff like that, you got to give that respect.
You do.
And, you know, if that's what he had to do to really get the thing out there, then you got to do what you got to do. Hey, I would rather us be using other schools to get raises than keep being in this situation that we've been in where these other schools are using us to get raises.
Exactly, that's true.
Like, it's time it's turned around a little bit.
It's a good situation, so, and that's what I tell some of my teammates this year. We talk about this all the time too. You know, we're getting to the point now where we're going to have coaches going to be head coaches now. You know, we finally just.
When you've got good teams and you've got good staff, you're going to lose people.
You know, some of these guys, like for instance, you know, T. Martin was a candidate to become a head coach recently. I can see him, if we do a great job this 2-3 years, I can see T. Martin becoming a head coach.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of other coaches on that staff.
I hope we can keep him around long enough to take over when Cheney retires.
And that's what I think is going to happen. So we're going to have a good staff. Well, we got a good staff, you know, and I think we're going to see that product today on the spring game. You know, these guys, they're ready to play. You know, they're ready to showcase what we can do. I'm ready to find the identity of this team. You know,
I agree.
We have yet to find out, even in the past few years, we haven't had any identity.
No,
you know, even when it came to leadership. we haven't found that true leader yet, man. I'm hoping we can find that. You know, everybody always try to throw it on the quarterback, but I don't think he wants that title yet. You know.
No, I don't think so either. You're going to have to find it somewhere else, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yes. No, that's true. I mean, even on defense, we haven't found a lead on defense yet. You know.
Well, I mean, your guys' '98 team. There's several leaders on that team.
I mean, me and my teammates, we talked about that last night. You know, we had, you know, when it came to like defensive players, we had 4 starting defensive line, 4 starting sets of linebackers. You know, I still tell people, you know, can you guys believe that John Henderson and Albert Hainsworth were 4 string? That's unheard of. You know, that kind of talent don't sit on the bench like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, we were the Alabama back in the day. You know, no one realized that. You know, whoever won between Florida and Tennessee, that's who's going to win the SEC championship every single time. You know, and I can't wait to get back to where it's a competition in the East and there's a competition in the West.
Yep.
It used to be no competition in the West and it was competition in the East. And it reversed. Now there's only 2 teams on both sides now, where Georgia's the elite team and Alabama's the elite team. I think it's time for Tennessee to start getting back in that place.
I agree.
You know, I miss it. You know, I mean, Tennessee,
it makes it a lot more fun to watch when
definitely.
everybody's climbing
I
up.
miss it. I miss wearing my tee all around.
I hear
I'm
you.
back to wearing it again. I mean,
Yeah.
I miss it. So hopefully we get back to that point, Jason.
Good. Well, I appreciate y'all coming out. I'm gonna get back in here and get
I
some work done.
appreciate you having us out, man.
Make sure all of y'all out there listening, if you come by, you mention the show. We'll give you 10% off, and I've got some gift certificates that the guys here are gonna be giving away. So keep listening.
Yeah, come on out, guys. Come on out the Hound Dogs. We down here till 3 o'clock, man. Come on out.
I'm back.
Catfish is back. Where you been,
You've been
man?
talking your ears off over here, man.
I can do this all day, man.
That was good to see all these fans come out here. Michael and Matt, they came all the way from Greenville.
Cool, man. They had great questions.
They have
man.
good questions?
Oh, man, yes.
All right, good deal. Well, we're going to cut this stream short. We're going to come back later. I know BVD is going to go do a little live thing, but we'll do these in segments and check back with us. And anybody wants to come down here and talk to Billy on air, come on down.
Well,
and
I got
he's doing
one question
autograph.
for you, man.
What's that?
What are you looking for in the spring ball game today, my man?
Let's see. I'm looking for Garantano to come out there 20 for 20. Get 200 yards running out of our running backs. Get some, I don't know. I just don't want, you know what I'm looking for, Billy? No injuries. I don't want any injuries.
That's key.
And we got plenty of time to get it together. This is an exhibition game. So that's the number one thing is no injuries.
Well, I'm out to tell you this here for that 20 for 20 and 200 yards. As a defensive player, I'm going to tell you like this. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be doing some more segments here throughout the day up until 3 o'clock. And then we're going to the ball game. We're going to go see some other players, get some autographs, and go to the game. We're going to have a good time. So we'll see y'all back later. Thanks for tuning in. Go Vols. Me and Billy will be here till 3 o'clock. I promise you that.
Yes, sir.